Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Rouse Baseball's live commentary of the Nippon Professional Baseball League. Today, we are going to be bringing you the game between the Tokyo Yakult Swallows and the Yokohama DeNA BayStars. It is the second game of the three-game set. Last night, the game was abbreviated, and it was not considered an official game as it did not get through 3 innings of play. But the weather is in favor here tonight, and we are hoping to get this one in its entirety, as there has been rain in the area, but looks like we're going to avoid it here tonight. First of all, we're going to give you the starting lineup for the visitors from Tokyo. Leading off for the Swallows in center field is 00 Yoshihiro Akahane. Batting second at shortstop is number 7 Hideki Nagioka. Batting third in left field is number 25 Domingo Santana. In the cleanup spot tonight and playing first base is number 13, Jose Ozuna. Batting fifth at second base is number 1, Tetsuda Yamada. Hitting sixth in right field is number 63, Shuma Suda. Batting seventh and playing at third base is number 8, Igor Emoji. Batting eighth and doing the catching is number 27, Yuhei Nakamura. And batting ninth and doing the pitching is number 39, Peter Lambert. And they are going to be facing Anthony Kay, who takes to the hill. Kay has a record of no wins and no losses. He was brilliant in his debut for the BayStars, working 7 innings, allowing 4 hits, no runs, nothing earned. He'd walked 1 and struck out 8. He had an ERA of 0.00. Well, that's your starting lineup for the visitors from Tokyo. Now your starting lineup for the Yokohama DeNA BayStars. Leading off and in center field, wearing number 58 is Koki Kajiwara. Batting second at second base is number 2, Shugo Maki. Hitting third at first base is number 7, Kaida Sano. And a cleanup spot and wearing number 51 is Toshiro Yamazaki. Batting fifth in right field is number 4, Ryuki Watari. Batting sixth and doing the catching is number 50, Yudai Yamamoto. Hitting seventh in left field is number 25, Yoshi Satsugo. Batting eighth and playing shortstop is number 6, Kaido Mori. And batting ninth and doing the pitching is number 69, Anthony Kay. And they are going to be facing Peter Lambert, who's making his second start tonight for the Swallows. He is 1-0 in the early going. He has pitched 6 innings, has allowed 3 hits, no runs, nothing earned. He has walked 1 and struck out 4, and he's got himself an ERA of 0 across the board. Well, those are your starting lineups. The first pitch is a couple of minutes away. Appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. Hope you guys can stick around, and hopefully there won't be any disruptions tonight. We'll be right back after this. It's a beautiful sunny day for baseball in Yokohama. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the first pitch. Anthony Kay has taken to the mound. He's going to start his warm-up tosses, and we'll be right back after this. You are listening to live NPB commentary with Last Rouse Baseball. Be sure to check out our podcast, The Japan Baseball Report, either on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to join our Facebook group as well. It is NPB Japan Baseball Report. Stay up to date with all the other followers who are a fan of the Japanese game. Welcome back, everybody. Anthony Kay is just completing his warm-up tosses, and we'll be ready to get this one underway. As it is the BayStars wearing their home whites. The Swallows are in their dark road tops with the white pants, as this one here is just about ready to get going. Last night's game, we were able to get through basically 3, almost not quite 3 complete innings. And what had happened is the thunderstorms that were in the area came to fruition, stopped the game, and they didn't waste much time after that, ended up calling it, as the rain was going to be in the area for quite a bit. We washed out a pretty good start there by Trevor Bauer last night, who had gone 3 innings. So it is going to be Kay versus Lambert here tonight, battle of 2 Americans. as we are ready to get this one underway. Akahani stepping to the plate, hitting .244 with no homers and 3 RBIs. And the first pitch of the ball game is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. Akahani batting from the right side here against the left-handed throwing K. As K rocks himself into the windup and he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes it is. Swallows and BayStars from Yokohama here in this one. 0-2 pitch on the way from K as a fastball missing upstairs. It's now to 1-2. Defensively tonight for the BayStars from left to right field, Setsugo in left, the center fielder Kajiwara, and in right field it is Owatari. As the 1-2 pitch coming here from Anthony K. As he kicks and fires, it's a fastball swung on and missed. And Akahani's in the books. He's gone for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and then it's going to bring up the shortstop in Hideki Nagioka. Just to finish the rest of this lineup here, around the horn from first to third, it is Kaito Sano at first, Shugomaki at second. The shortstop is Kaito Mori. At third, it is Toshiro Yamazaki with the battery of Kei and Yamamoto. This brings Hideki Nagioka to the plate, hitting .231 in the early going. As the first pitch is a fastball that is swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. Our friend Harrison is back in the house tonight. He says, what does Yokohama to advance in the standings? I'm not sure what you're asking there in the early going here. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-2 now to Nagioka. BayStars are currently with a record of 4-5-2. As the pitch from K is on the way, there's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into a shallow left field. Coming in on it is Setsugo. Room to make the catch aplenty, and that is going to retire Nagioka for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away, and that is going to bring up the left fielder in Domingo Santana. Well, when you look at the standings here in the early going, they play 143 games. BayStars right now are in 5th place. I don't think that is going to last for very long, as it is a bit of a strange look as the Swallows, despite a lot of injuries, are off to a decent start. Fastball swung on. It is lifted into right field, racing toward the line, and making the catch on the run is Watari. And Santana is going to be gone for the third out of the inning, and that is going to do it here quickly for the Swallows. In their half of the first. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left aboard. We're through a half inning. It is the Swallows nothing and the BayStars coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
That's right, everybody. We know baseball, and we're right back at it here as we are moving to the bottom half of inning number 1. Our friend Harrison says if they win, they tie the Swallows. Yeah, it's all mice balls at this point, because the reality of it is that there's 3 teams in between them, so they could win tonight and still be a game out of first place, being the BayStars. Peter Lambert has just completed his warm-up tosses, and we're ready to get going here. Only 10 games or so deep into the season, and we got 133 more to play. Lots of movement to happen between now and then. Unless, of course, you are a fan of the Saitama Sea Blue Lions, which might be a bit of a problem because the Lions are having their struggles. Last night we bounced over to that game as this one here was rained out in the third inning, and it was down to a 2-ball, 2-strike count, and it was a sayonara home run to end the game in the bottom of the 12th. First pitch delivered to Koki Kajiwara, swung on and missed. Count is quickly 0-1. Kajiwara batting .255, homer and 3 runs driven in, as he waits on the offering here from Lambert, who rocks himself into the windup and delivers. And there is a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into shallow left field. Coming over underneath it and making the catch is Santana, and that is going to retire Kajiwara for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away. It'll bring up the second baseman in Shugo Maki. So for Mackey, he's hitting .286 in the early going. He's been flexing his muscles. He's got 3 homers and 11 RBIs. Ironically, Mackey got off to a very slow start in the opening weekend, but just like anything else, he can get hot and pick it up. He is fun to watch offensively. His defensive play is a little bit to be desired, as the first pitch is a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into left field, and this ball is going to get down. It's into the corner, rounding first and heading to second, as Santana retrieves the ball, and Shugo Maki is aboard with a leadoff double here, with a 1-out double here. And that is going to bring up the first baseman, Kaida Sano. So the words just out of my mouth, and Maki absolutely obliterates the pitch. As they say, when he gets on a tear, he is as fun to watch as anybody else. So Mackey, the runner at second, Kaida Sano coming to the plate. He's hitting .297, no homers and 4 RBIs, getting an opportunity to play first base in the absence of Tyler Austin. Austin, who was taken off of the active roster, he has to be out for about 10-day minimum before reactivation. Some lower body discomfort. There's a split finger pitch that is swung on and tapped foul right at home plate, and the count is quickly 0-1. Kind of curious to see a bit of Lambert. Lambert was in Colorado the last couple of years. And I always don't get a chance to see Rocky games, although I think I may try to give a Rocky game a call in the next day or two. We're going to see how that plans out. As the right-hander holds to the set, now delivers. There's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count goes even at 1-1. Our Filipino friend is in the house. He says, I need the Tigers to win today because I bought the limited edition Zaku 2 in Hanshin Tigers colors. I'm not sure I know what that is, the Zaku 2, if I've said that right. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. As Lambert kicks and delivers, it's a fastball swung on, and it's lifted foul into the seats behind home plate. The count is 1-2. Harrison says, how did Bauer do yesterday? Well, he went 3 innings. He only allowed 1 hit, struck out 2. He faced 1 batter over the minimum in his 3 innings of work. He was a lot better looking than the game against the Dragons, which he wasn't bad, even though he took the loss. He was pretty good in that game, but he was a lot more sharp last night. There's the 1-2 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to the left side, fielded on the backhand by the shortstop, Nagioka, who throws to first. Sano's gone on a ground out 6-3. He's out for the second out of the inning. Advancing to third is Maki. And that's going to bring up the third baseman, Toshiro Yamazaki. Our Filipino friend says it's a Gundam model kit, Coach. It just happened to be near the local hobby store in his area. Interesting. I'm not really familiar with that, to be honest with you. It's out of my scope, but obviously you are, and I'm glad that you were able to get it in Hanshin Tiger colors. So here comes the offering from the right-hander as Lambert now kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1 to Yamazaki. Arcade says, good afternoon to Japan and good 1 a.m. to him. And we appreciate you for being here. I was awake for the Fighters-Lions game way into the morning last night. And a little tipsy, but ready for the BayStars here tonight. Well, we're glad you can make it. We are going to do the Lions and the Fighters tomorrow, and it'll go off at 9 Pacific or midnight Eastern. A little earlier start. There's a breaking ball swung on it. His tap softly down the line at third. Off the mound to field it is Lambert. He throws to first. And that's a nice play. It's going to go down as a ground out 1-3 to end the inning here. That's 3 outs. No runs in the inning. There was 1 hit. There was no errors, and there was one stranded aboard. Your score as we are now through one complete. It is the Swallows nothing and the BayStars nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. We appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight on the Last Rounds Baseball YouTube channel. Always great to have you with us. Hang tight. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Here is our friend Steve Rademacher. He's going to be with us through the night. Be sure to check out his channel after the game. Here is Steve and his introduction.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name. And I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. In turn, we'd like to support Steve Rademacher after the game. Check him out. Let him know Last Raps Baseball sent you, and maybe put up the middle finger to him, too. He likes to hear a little bit about that. Here is the first offering to Jose Osuna, who steps in, and it's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Counts 0-1. Osuna, Yamada, and Masuda to face the lefty K here in inning number 2. Only 8 pitches for the lefty in his first inning of work. As there's a fastball swung on, is grounded over to short, fielded by Mori. He throws to first, and Osuna is in the books on a groundout 6-3. So 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up the second baseman in Tetsudo Yamada. Friend Dark Age says, I don't see myself staying awake after the 4th or 5th, but he'll try his best. Yeah, I'm going to be on your time zone in another week and change. And the problem with that is that I'll probably get up and do some of the 5 a.m. games. That's a little easier to be able to do those ones during the week. And the first pitch delivered to Yamada misses down, and the count is 1-0. Yamada hitting 136 with a couple homers and 5 RBIs. Was not in the lineup last night. He had come off an injury at the end of the spring training as that fastball is taken for a called strike. The count's 1-1. So Yamada did hit his milestone home run, and he now is got the most home runs in the history of the Jingu Stadium, as there is a fastball that is check swing foul down the first baseline. Giving chase was the first baseman, second baseman, and right fielder. Was a Bermuda Triangle that ended up landing foul. The count is 1-2 to Yamada. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. We will keep you updated on all the other games around the NPB tonight. We did drop one of our videos earlier today. If you're into the Japan baseball report, there's a fastball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-2. It had to do with the pitchers in the Pacific League. We'll drop one after the weekend on pitchers in the Central League, import pitchers, that is. There is a fastball that swung on and lifted foul into the seats behind home plate, and the count remains at 2-2 to Yamada. Our friend Dark Age says 5 a.m. is definitely easier for him during the week since he's already waking up at 6:30. The 1 a.m. games are the tough ones. Yeah, it is a bit of a challenge for those on the East Coast. 2-2 on the way. Fastball swung on, grounded over to Miyazaki at third. He throws to first. And that's going to retire Yamada on a ground out 5-3. So 2 up and 2 away here, and 5 in a row retired by Anthony K. Will bring us to the right fielder, Shu Masuda. Our friend Harrison says, what did he miss? Not much. Right now, this game is like watching an elevator go up and down. It's somebody comes up to bat and down they go. It's Got a little bit of a quick pace to it so far. There's a first pitch breaking ball delivered to Masuda, taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Masuda hitting .286, the 25-year-old in his second season with the Swallows. Began his NPB career with the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. Fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now is 0-2. Last pitch was at 96 miles an hour. I have to tell you that K surprises me a little bit. He throws harder than I would have anticipated. I would have pegged him to be more in the low 90s. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 0-2. Yeah, Anthony K would be the former Met. K is the pitcher, and then he was dealt to the Blue Jays, and then the Blue Jays sent him over to the Cubs. Bounced around a little bit. As the pitch is on the way, it's a slow breaking ball that misses outside, and the count goes to 1-2. K was once considered a top prospect in the Mets organization, and he never came to fruition in Toronto. And he went to the Cubs, and he was okay with the Cubs out of their pen mostly. But it'll be interesting if he learns how to pitch in Japan. He could be a bounce-back candidate. There's a fastball swung on. It is chopped back to the pitcher. Underhand flips it to first, and that is going to do it. It's a ground out, 1-3 to end the inning. 3 ground ball outs here in inning number 2 will do it here for K. No runs in the inning. There was no hits. There were no errors, and there was nobody left aboard. We're now moving to the bottom of the second inning. Your score is the Swallows nothing and the BayStars nothing. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. We appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Drafts Baseball YouTube channel. I'll be right back after this little timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters to come to bat for the BayStars. That means Watari, Yamamoto, and Setsugo. Watari coming to bat here as he's ready to face Lambert for the second inning. Our question came up in the chat, or at least from Harrison, said, when did Anthony K sign with the Yokohama Ball Club? Well, he originally signed, it would have been about... he was in their camp last year, so this is his second season now with the BayStars. As Peter Lambert ready to face Watari here as he rocks into the motion and delivers. It's a fastball swung on, lifted into left field. Moving back just in front of the warning track is Santana, and he makes the catch. With one pitch, we have one away here, and that is going to bring up the catcher in Yudai Yamamoto. Defensively tonight, for the Swallows, we never got to their defense. From left to right field, it is Santana in left, Akahani in center, and in right field, Masuda. Around the horn from first to third, Osuna is at first. The second baseman tonight for the Swallows is Yamada. At short, it is Nagioka with the third baseman, Moji. As the first pitch from Lambert misses up and in, and it is 1-0. With Lambert and Nakamura, the battery for the Swallows. Friend Dark Age says he's pretty new to the NPB. Chose the BayStars simply because of their aesthetic similarities to the Tampa Bay Rays. And it's always good to pick a winner. They were the defending champions last year. As that fastball is taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike as Lambert kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-1. And he says he supports the Rays first, but he also supports the Mets on the side. As the 2-1 is on the way, it's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 2-2. Harrison says that the Mets beat Atlanta. I didn't check in on any of that stuff there at all tonight. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into right field. Coming over underneath it with plenty of room. Fighting the sun is Masuda, and he hauls it in. And that is going to retire Watari for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone here, and that's going to bring up the left fielder in Yoshi Satsugo. I've talked about this before on our streams, and I talked about it in different places, and they were saying about one of the things I found interesting on the MLB network. They said when Satsugo was playing for the Tampa Bay Rays in the World Series against the Dodgers, he only had a couple at bats, and they said they didn't play him against pitchers that were throwing 95 or above. As the right-hander Lambert kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that just misses low, and the count is 1-0. Well, the problem with Satsugo is that he was in a situation where he was a better breaking ball hitter than anything else, as that breaking ball misses down and the count's 2-0. And when you think about analytics and how analytics are used in different ways, that actually makes sense to me. If you've got a guy that can't catch up, he doesn't have the quick enough hands to get on top of a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, then especially in today's baseball, what good is he? There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into straightaway center field. Back on the warning trap, leaping and making the catch is the center fielder, Akahani. And Satsugo is going to feel a little bit snake-bitten. If he pulls the ball just a little bit or goes the other way, that had a chance to leave the yard. But he is going to be gone for the third out of the inning. All 3 of the outfielders were made of use here in this inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now through 2 complete. The score is the Swallows 0 and the BayStars 0. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the third inning in just a couple of moments. We appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll break back after this. There's been some early scoring from around the NPB. It is in the top of the first inning at the Cochin Stadium between the Dragons and the Tigers. The Dragons have drawn first blood. They have a 1-0 lead over the Tigers. And the other score over in the Pacific League, the Buffaloes in the top of the first have jumped the Eagles for a 3-0 lead at Rakuten Mobile Stadium, Miyagi. And that is where the score is. All the rest of the games are zip. And we are ready to almost get back to the action here. Our friend Dark Age says the Mets and the Rays are in different leagues, so we could support each other most of the year up until the scenarios. We've got our friend Harrison, who he's checking in a little bit. He says he likes the Rays. There was a breaking ball taken for a called strike to Igor Emoji. Moji batting .286, no homers and 2 RBIs, getting the opportunity to play because Murakami is hurt. Moji had come over from the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, and he swung at that breaking ball and fouls it away, and the count is 0-2. Mark my words, every time we do a game that Moji is playing in, he just seems to go off. So we'll have to wait and see how this is. As the left-hander ready to go, he kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball, misses down and away, and the count is 1-2. Our friend Dark Age says, I'm having a bit more fun watching these games late night and early morning over the MLB games midday, but only just by a little. Well, the thing is certainly where I'm at in time zones, I find the same way about basketball. I often watch the NBL out of Australia late night. As the 1-2 pitch is on the way, it's a fastball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line, and the count remains at 1-2 on Moji. Not that the basketball is better than the NBA. The NBA players are still, in my opinion, the best in the world. But just the overall FIBA style of play is kind of fun to watch. And that is in the off season when you get a chance to be up late night. There's a breaking ball that misses outside to Moji, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Moji ready to get the offering again here from Kay, and here comes the 2-2 pitch as he kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball swung on, and another one that's fought off. Foul over on the third base side, and the count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. BayStars and Swallows, supposed to be the second game of the series. One of the fellas who used to attend some of our programs and who ended up playing his college ball south of the border is at the game tonight. We messaged yesterday. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and Moji is down on strikes for the first out of the inning. 7 in a row retired by Kay, and that is going to bring up the catcher in Yuhei Nakamura. One of the things he told me last night is that after the game was done, no rain checks. So in other words, he got just not quite 3 innings in and no refunds on the game. Sorry, you're SOL, buddy. Very interesting. Certainly in Major League Baseball, if it's not an official game, you get a rain check or an alternative ticket. There is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Nakamura. Nakamura batting .133 on the year. No homers and a couple RBIs. As there is a breaking ball swung on, it is popped up into shallow left field. Racing back on it is the shortstop Mori, and he makes the over-the-shoulder catch. And that is going to retire Nakamura for the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up the pitcher in Peter Lambert. Dark Age says, the only sports I'm into is baseball and motorsports, so having F1 last week in Japan definitely caused some scheduling overlap for him. There you go. As the pitch is a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. The count is 0-1. We generally have a pretty good group that come in to listen to the games. We do a lot of Pacific League games. We said this year we're making a concentrated effort to do more games in the Central League as that fastball is swung on and missed. And now the count is at 0-2 to Lambert. Trying to call a bunch of the games in the Central League this year, seeing a variety of teams. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains 1-2 to Lambert. Harrison says the Mets are better than Tampa. On paper they are, and potentially on the field they would be too. As the pitch is on the way, it is a fastball that misses down. The count is 1-2. One of the things our friend Dark Age says, he's got a family member going on a Japan trip later this year or next year. Going to give him some money so he can get me some BayStars merch. In 2023, there was, I think, only one team that I remember was the Giants. As there's a fastball taken for a called third strike. Lambert's in the books. He's gone for out number 3. 9 in a row retired by K. I'm going to come back and talk about the merchandise in Japan when I return. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. We are now moving to the bottom of the third inning. Your score is the BayStars 0 and the Swallows 0. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. We appreciate you guys for hanging in with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be back after this. Scoreline is 0-0 as we're moving to the bottom of the third. Hang with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for listening on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. Here is our friend Steve. Be sure to check him out after the game. He'll be right back while he's having a beer.
Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game. Really exciting. Lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in, check them out, leave a like, tell other people. But, Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Much appreciated there, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. And we like to support Steve Rademacher after the game. Be sure to go check him out. He is a wild, crazy, and eclectic guy. Well, coming to bat here, it'll be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for the BayStars, Mori, Akay, and the top of the order, Kajiwara, to face the right-hander, Peter Lambert. Our friend Dark Age said, I had a beer, a whole bottle of wine, and some bourbon, so he's pleasantly in chill mode, not too slosh, but comfortably not sober. There you go, listening to the call of the game and maybe watching it on the side somewhere else. So this is going to bring Kaito Mori to the plate. Mori is hitting 176 on the early going. He's got no homers and 4 RBIs, as he is the shortstop for the BayStars. As the right-hander Lambert kicks and delivers, it's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Mori, a left-handed hitting shortstop, digs himself in, waiting on the offering from Lambert. And he pitches a fastball swung on and is grounded up the middle. Tetsuda Yamada trying to get it on the backhand, unable to come up with the play. I'm not sure if they're going to rule an error on that or if that would be his base hit. Oh, there we go. There's our answer. They're going to give Mori a single on that one. That'll be the second hit for the BayStars. And you can bet dollars to donuts that Anthony Kay, as he comes to the plate, will be looking to sacrifice bunt here. Anthony Kay is 0 for the last 2 seasons in the NPB. He didn't have a hit last year. He doesn't have a hit this year either. So if he is going to get a hit, it's going to mean that the ball has probably hit his bat. He's already scoring the bunt, and they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner, Kaito Mori. Manny Mike in the house here. He says, who do you think's going to win this one? I love Manny Mike's logo. That's one of the best. I've been on over to his page a couple of times. Got some interesting stuff there. But back to Manny's question. I would give the edge to the BayStars at home tonight. That would be my thing. And there's a pitch to Kay as bunted foul. Goes all the way to the backstop. Count is 0-1. I would expect this game to probably turn into a battle of the bullpens. Both of these starting pitchers, if they could be economical enough, this game here could go 6 or 7 innings from the starters. We were talking about that game last night that we bounced over to, the Fighters and the Lions. It was pretty impressive. Both starting pitchers in that game had no hitters going to the 7th inning. And they finally gave up their first hits, but pretty impressive ball game last night nonetheless. Harrison and Dark Age are pumping for Yokohama here tonight as well. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Fastball, bunted, foul, right at home plate. In foul territory, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes to Kay. Dark Age says, drinking through the night. I'm not done doing that. With company gone, he is the one drinking alone out of principle. I don't mind having a beer. I never used to drink alone, that sort of thing. I always used to do it socially, and then every once in a while I'd have a beer or just sitting around watching TV or whatever. But it's the time of the year when it happens. They throw over to first base and diving back in time is the runner Maury. They are worried about him. Sometimes just sitting back, having a beer, and especially on the hot summer days, you're out in the sun, you're out in the warm, and then you come back home and you get yourself a beer, and that first one just goes down so good. The second one, not so much. Here comes the pitch, and it is bunted, and it's in front of the plate. It's a good one. Out to field it is the catcher Nakamura, and he throws to first. It's going to go down as a sacrifice, 1-4. It puts Anthony Kay in the books. Kaito Mori is advanced over to second. It's going to bring up the top of the order in Kuki Konjiwara. Harrison says the Mets need a lefty starter. That is the truth. I think they have. I thought he had Sean Manaea, but is Manaea a lefty or a righty? You also have Frankie Montez and a bunch of other guys that were hurt. So here comes the offering as the right-hander holds to the set. He checks the runner at second base and kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that swung on and grounded foul past the third base coach's box. Count was 0-1. Dark Cage says, as long as it's Wednesday, whenever it is. Manaea and Montez are both hurt at the moment, yeah. So no balls and one strike as Konjiwara waiting here on the offering from the righty Lambert, who holds to the set. Checks the runner. Checks him again and now delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into left center field. This ball is going to get down for a base hit. Rounding third and heading home. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's going to get cut off. And the BayStars have cashed in their first run here on an RBI single off the bat of Kuki Konjiwara. You're going to have to wipe the blood off the ball because it was a bit of a bleeder, but he is going to pick himself up an RBI. Looks like a line drive in the box score. And that is going to cash in Kaito Mori with the first run of the game. So now Yokohama has something to work with. That is going to bring up the second baseman in Shugo Maki. Well, for Maki, he is 1 for 1 tonight. He had a double in his first trip up. So he doubled and was stranded at third base in the first inning. As I said earlier, when he gets on fire, he can really swing the bat. Lambert working to the set, but now he throws over to first and diving back in time is the runner Konjiwara. Konjiwara does not have a stolen base this year, but he can run. You have to keep your eye on him. Maki now 15 for 50 on the year. He's batting an even 300. And here comes the pitch from the right-hander who kicks and delivers. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Maki. And he says, "You rock, man. I need to send you a candle. Are you in the States?" Nope, not in the States. We're further north than that. But we are in beautiful British Columbia, Canada. Here comes the 0-1 pitch as the right-hander is on the way. It is a fastball that just misses down. Oh, the catcher Nakamura didn't like that. That looked like a pretty good pitch. Count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, Maki batting from the right side here. As the right-hander holds to the set, now he kicks and fires. There is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 1-2. Harrison says, "Have you ever been to Ottawa? A lovely town." Yeah, I've been there a pile of times, but haven't been there probably in a good solid 15 years. Really don't have any reason to go back there. It's just not something that was ever of a great interest. I had a job interview in Quebec a number of years ago. I had to go to Gatineau across the way as they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is Maki. That was probably over 20 years ago. Probably the last time I've been there. Harrison says, or Dark Age says he's been to Toronto. Yeah, the Big Smoke. Big Smoke, actually, it just goes to show you how things change in parts of the world. living across from Detroit for years, considered one of the most violent, dangerous cities in North America. As there's a breaking ball swung on, it is lifted into right center field, and this ball is going to get down for a base hit. And stopping at second is Kajiwara. Maki's got his second hit of the game. And so he's got a single. And so the BayStars are still threatening here as Kaita Sano comes to the plate with runners at first and second. But they were saying that Toronto has now surpassed Detroit in all violent crime. Who would have thought that? Well, certainly not me 25 years ago, but now here you have it. It's right there front and center, but there's not a lot of people left in Detroit. Well, that brings Sano to the plate. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He's grounded to the shortstop in his only time up. He has back-to-back singles off the bat of Kajiwara and Maki. As the right-hander Lambert holds to the set, he kicks and delivers. Fastball swung up, popped up in the infield. Infield fly rule is in effect underneath it, and making the catch is the shortstop Nagioka, but Sano has already been retired for the second out of the inning. And that is going to leave it all up to the third baseman, Toshiro Yamazaki. Harrison says the Ottawa Titans are a Frontier League team. Yeah, they used to have their affiliate, if I'm not mistaken, in Ottawa was also with the Washington Nationals years ago. They had theirs there, and unfortunately, it's been a lot of changes in baseball. So Yamazaki stepping to the plate, 0 for 1 tonight. He had grounded back to the pitcher his first time up. Batting here with runners at first and second and 2 gone. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Quebec Capitals, yeah, they used to be called the Can-Am League. Harrison says he works for the New York Boulders. Don't really follow that stuff so much. Used to look in on it a bit more. There's a fastball that misses inside, and the count goes even to 1-1 on Yamazaki. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Harrison says he's a social media intern for them this summer. That'd be pretty cool. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As the pitch is on the way, there's a breaking ball swung on it. It is grounded off the foot of Lambert. And that is going to squeak over towards second. Yamada fields it, but coming all the way around from second is Kajiwara, and he's going to score the second run for the BayStars. So a bit unfortunate luck. Ball ends up ricocheting off of Lambert. It was moving up the middle. And they're going to come out and have a look at the pitcher here. He's kind of been a bit of a Band-Aid in his career. I'm not sure if he's all right or not. He'll probably want a couple of pitches, but Kajiwara comes around to score. Stopping at second is Maki. It's now a 2-0 lead here for the BayStars in the bottom half of the third. And it's a tough way to get a hit. It was absolutely right back up the middle. We got to look at that again. I don't know if it got him on the leg or on the foot, and it deflected over to the 4-hole as Yamada was racing to come up the middle to try to make the play on it. It ended up being a ball that got deflected over to where he was. Our friend Dark Age says, I might be in Europe sometime next year. It's going to be a bit more tough to watch MLB games, but easier to watch the NPB. Yeah, when I lived in Europe, it was a bit of a hassle and a problem sometimes. You could get games at certain times of the day better than others. There is a split finger pitch swung on and missed, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Watari on the season is 0 for 7. He was off to a cracking start last year as a rookie. He really announced himself to the NPB, but he has slowed down quite a bit. There's a fastball that swung on and fouled away. He finds himself now in the hole at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. I find it fascinating on the different nights when we get people coming into the stream. And of course, we always welcome people. And Usually Friday night, it's a 11 o'clock Pacific, 2 a.m. Eastern arriving crowd. But again, as I said before, we're not necessarily doing all the games in the Pacific League this year. We're doing more central stuff. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-2. That is, I would say, of each. We're going to call Pacific League games as we have one tomorrow night. And we're going to call some more in the coming days. I'll have to figure out which games I'm going to try to call here in the next little bit because, as I said, I'm going to be on the East Coast for about 5 days next week. Harrison says he goes to Marist University. They used to have a decent hockey program, if I'm not mistaken. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. And they are going to tag out Watari as he walks away in disgust. He is gone for the third out of the inning. That is going to do it. But the BayStars strike twice, 2 runs in the inning on the benefit of 4 hits. There was no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. Your scores were now through the first third of the ball game. It is a 2-0 lead here for the BayStars. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. Appreciate you guys for being with us on the Last Rounds Baseball YouTube channel. Here is our friend Steve once again.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OP-Chi baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. In turn, we like to support Steve Rademacher. After the game, be sure to go check him out and let him know that Last Rounds Baseball has sent you. Well, we are moving ourselves to the top of the 4th inning, and it'll be the top of the order coming to bat here for the Swallows. It'll be Akahani, Nagioka, and Santana. They face the lefty Anthony Kay, who has retired the first 9 batters to start the ball game as the lefty rocks and delivers. Fastball misses down and in, and the count is 1-0. Friend Dark Age says that he's been meaning to watch more KBO, but sometimes they have more completely dominating games than not. Hard to find a game that he wants to sit down and watch. When we had the blip in 2020, as the pitch as a fastball swung on and fouled away, the count goes to 1-1 on Akahani. ESPN was picking up the feeds of those games, and I really found it hard to watch. You could have guys with major league talent on the field in about 3 positions. You'd have guys with, say, high A ability or double A ability in 3 positions. As a breaking ball is taken for a called strike, the count now goes to 1-2. And then you got 3 guys that look like they belong in a high school field somewhere in the middle of a pasture that weren't very good to watch. There's a fastball that swung on and tap foul over on the third base side, and the count remains at 1-2. And so you do get those type of games where all of a sudden it's a complete and utter blowout because you got somebody that rolls in and they can do that. So I just found it hard to watch. In a lot of ways, the league is a bit, I would say, sparse in terms of the abilities. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed, and Akahani is in the books for the second time via strikeout tonight. He's out for out number 1. And by our counts, that's the 4th strikeout recorded by Anthony Kay. So 1 away in the books. That's going to bring up the shortstop, Hideki Nagioka. Our friend Dark Age says, in the most respectable and endearing way possible, the most respect imaginable, I feel like the Venn diagram between baseball fans and coin collectors is closer to a circle than not. Interesting thought on that. There's a breaking ball delivered for a strike, and the count is 0-1 to Nagioka. Nagioka is 0 for 1 tonight. He's flown to left his only time up, and he swings and fouls that pitch away. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Harrison's tapping out. He says, "Good night, guys, and go BayStars." Well, thanks, Harrison, for coming in tonight. We appreciate you as always. Game starts an hour earlier tomorrow, so hopefully you can join us for that one a little bit. So no balls and 2 strikes as the lefty kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Inching up, that was 97 on the gun from Anthony Kay, and the count remains at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Arcade says that there is some high-end talent in Korea, but it's only on a few teams. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away. Count is 1-2. They also don't pay as well as the NPB. I think it was Matt Davison who was with the Carp, went over there and absolutely obliterated the league last year. I think he had like 46 home runs. He's a Korean legend now. But he really struggled in the NPB. There's a fastball swung on, grounded softly up the middle. Mori fields it moving to his left. He throws to first. Nagioka's in the books on a ground out, 6-3 for the second out of the inning. And that is going to leave it up to the left fielder, Domingo Santana. So Harrison tapping out. Appreciate you for once again coming in here, Harrison. We'll see you maybe tomorrow night. That brings Santana to the plate. He is 0 for 2 as the lefty K delivers a fastball that is swung on and is lifted into straightaway center field. Moving back underneath it is the center fielder, Kajiwara. He's there to make the catch. And that is going to do it. 12 up and 12 retired here by Anthony Kay. As we are now moving to the bottom half of the 4th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. It's a lot of zeros in our scorebook. We'll be back in just a few. BayStars coming to bat with the 6, 7, and 8 hitters. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the bottom of the 4th inning, and we'll be back in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. When everybody goes to bed, that's when we break out the good commercials. We'll be right back after this.
Thank you for that introduction, Freddie. Hey, guys, Steve coming back at you today, and every day is opening day on my channel. I open everything from hot sauce to beer to deviled eggs to cans of soup to ravioli to sport card packs like you wouldn't believe. I open blasters of stuff. I open regular boxes of stuff. Speaking of hot sauce, I open hot sauce, which is often gifted to me from the community. I have it all. I open up Star Wars by the tons, including the Family Guy Star Wars. I have a bunch of wrestling that I do open, and I do non-sport cards like crazy. As you can see, we have it all. I even open Marvel, tons and tons of Marvel cards. But you never know, on my channel, you just may have a little trouble with tribbles too. Remember, opening day every day. Thank you, Freddie. See you in Funny Pages, guys.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Yudai Yamamoto batting here against Peter Lambert, and he's already ahead in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. As that breaking ball misses down, the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Yamamoto. Yamamoto 0 for 1 tonight. He flew out to right field in his only trip. As Lambert kicks and delivers, there's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 2-1. Arcade says he is going to try to stay through the 5th inning. He's got to write a paper tomorrow. If he can get through the 5th inning, he should be fine. As the pitch is on the way, there is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. Haven't updated my ticker yet. It is in the bottom of the 4th inning, but as the pitch on the way from Lambert's a fastball that misses inside, and the count goes to 3-2. But we have to change our scoreline on it there as the BayStars have themselves a 2-0 lead at the moment here. So here comes the offering. It's a ground ball hit over to second, fielded by Yamada. He throws to first, and that's going to retire Yamamoto on a ground out, 4-3 for the first out of the inning. White Eagle in the house says, "Let's go Swallows." Well, we welcome you, White Eagle. Thanks for popping in. You are one of the few Swallow fans who have pumped a fist in here tonight. That is for sure. A lot of BayStars people cheering away. Brings Yoshi Satsugo to the plate. Satsugo flew out to center field his first time up. He's 0 for 1 in this one. Not off to a great start this year, 4 for 28. As he takes a fastball for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike it is. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. BayStars are currently enjoying themselves. A 2-0 lead. As there is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-2. Davey, how you doing? Says, "I hope Trevor Bauer wins." Well, he went last night. So you're about 24 hours off. Unfortunately, the game ended up getting rained out in the 3rd. Here's the 0-2 pitch. It's a fastball that misses upstairs. Count goes to 1-2. And Davey asking a pile of questions. How's Bauer throwing? Yeah, he's up in the mid-upper 90s. He was much better last night in terms of the control and command of his pitches. There's a fastball swung on and missed. Satsugo's in the books for the second out of the inning, and that's going to leave it up to the shortstop, Kaito Mori. Well, Mori got the party started in the last half inning. He had the single off of Lambert that ended up coming around and scoring the first run of the game as he was driven home by a single by Kajiwara. Davey says, "Wish they had indoor stadiums." Well, they do. Half of the stadiums are indoors in the NPB as that fastball misses outside. Count is 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes. There's a pitch. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into straightaway center field, backpedaling, and now turning around to run is the center fielder, Hakahani. He made that one more difficult than what it was. The wind is playing a factor in Yokohama. It was really bad last night. That one there went for a ride. And Mori's going to be gone for the 3rd out of the inning, and that will do it here for the BayStars. They go quickly and quietly in their half of the 4th. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. We appreciate you guys for being with us. Top of the 5th, just around the corner. It is the BayStars 2 and the Swallows no score. We'll be right back after this little timeout.
You are listening to live NPB commentary with Last Raps Baseball. Be sure to check out our podcast, The Japan Baseball Report, either on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to join our Facebook group as well. It is NPB Japan Baseball Report. Stay up to date with all the other followers who are a fan of the Japanese game.
Welcome back, everybody. Our friend Dark Age says about that they wish the NPB would have easier access to games in the U.S. That's a major problem. When I was in Tokyo a couple years ago, and they're handing out pamphlets and wanting the teams to be able to do it. The one stumbling block is that the Central League is a bit archaic in terms of their thought process. The Pacific League, much more progressive in terms of what they want to do and how they operate their league. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0 to Jose Osuna. And what I mean by that in this specific case is that you look at the thought process of revenue sharing and being able to distribute everything equally. As there's a fastball that's taken for a called strike. It's now 1-1 to Osuna. And they certainly don't let their players, or don't let the teams do that. So in the Central League, it's very much the merchandising is all together as one, and not as one. They each it's one for all and all for one, I guess is how I would put it. So 2-1 to Osuna. And when you think about that, Major League Baseball, they have revenue sharing in certain ways, where the Yankees, obviously, they sell a lot of merch, but Colorado Rockies do not. There's a fastball swung on it, is lifted into right field. Moving over underneath it and making the catch is Watari, and that is going to retire Osuna for the first out of the inning. 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up the second baseman in Tetsuda Yamada. So when you think of the teams like the Rockies, they benefit by the revenue sharing that would go on. Same thing with the league-wide merchandise. Everybody gets an equal share of that. It's to level the playing field a little bit more. Even though we know in New York they get more bums in the seats as they do in Los Angeles. First pitch to Yamada is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. Yamada 0 for 1 tonight, grounded to third his first time up. As the pitch is on the way, and it is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-0. Dark Age is tapping out. He says he thinks he's going to call it a night now that he's in the 5th inning. Well, we appreciate you for popping in here tonight and holding it down with us for the first hour of this ball game. As the 2-0 pitch is on the way, fastball misses down and in, and the count goes now to 3-0 on Yamada. Yamada looking to become the first base runner here for the Swallows tonight. It has been Anthony Kay who has been solid so far in this one. Here's the 3-0. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 3-1. So 3-1 strike. As the left-hander holds himself at the set position, and here comes the 3-1 offering as he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 3-2. So 3-2 strikes it is. Again, the lefty holding to the set as he rocks himself into the motion and delivers. Fastball taken at the knees for a called third strike. Oh, Yamada can't believe it, but Kay able to catch him looking for the second out of the inning. That's going to put him in the books for out number 2, and it's going to leave it up to the right fielder in Shumasuda. Well, for Masuda, he is 0 for 1 tonight. He has grounded out to the pitcher his first time up. As the lefty K delivers, there's a fastball that just misses low. It looked like it was the same place that Yamada got banged out on. So 1 ball and no strikes it is. Lefty K ready to go again. He rocks himself into the windup and delivers. Fastball just misses low at 95, and the count now goes to 2-0. First time tonight, I could say that K looks like he's struggling a little bit with his command and his control. As the lefty delivers again, it's another fastball that just misses down. Not by much, but it's 3 balls and no strikes now to Masuda. So the same spot that he had gone to with Yamada, a previous batter earlier. He battled back to strike him out. 3-0 on the way. Fastball center cut for a called strike. Now the count goes to 3-1. So 3-1 strike. Again, K working himself to the set. As he rocks into the windup and delivers, there's a fastball swung on. It's grounded foul just past the bag at third base. And the count now goes to full on Masuda. We are pleased to have everybody make it into the game here tonight. Whether you listen live or on delay, it's always great to have you with us. So here comes the 3-2 pitch as Kay rocks into the windup and delivers. Fastball swung on, lifted into left center field, giving chase, and it's going to get over the head of the center fielder Kajiwara. And there goes the no-hitter with 2 outs here in the 5th inning. As Anthony Kay had retired 14 consecutive batters. And Masuda has got himself a double here with 2 gone, and that'll bring up the third baseman Inagoro Moji. And for those of you who were with us earlier tonight, we were talking about Moji always showing up big when we do games. This might be that opportunity, and it's usually the 5th inning that he likes to show up in. So if you go back and replay our inning back in the inning number, whatever it was, number 2 when he came to bat, actually it was number 3. We talked about his presence at the plate and what it could mean here for the Swallows. So let's see what Moji's got up his sleeves. Here comes the first offering to the left-handed hitting third baseman. It's a breaking ball missing outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Definitely going to have to keep our eye on the lefty K here. He has certainly lost a little bit here. And you can see that now. He is struggling a little bit with his command. So left-hander versus the left-hander. K ready to go again. As he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on and missed. The count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Just as a reminder, after the 5th inning, they do what we like to call Japanese halftime. That's where they take an extended break, usually a 5-minute break as they come out and work on the field. And during that time, we will take a break as well, as we will go get ourselves a couple of refreshments and cue us up for the back half of the ball game as that fastball is swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Moji. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Crowd coming to life here for the Swallows, but they haven't raised their umbrellas once here tonight. So here comes the 1-2 offering to Moji as the lefty K works himself into the set position. Masuda gathers his lead at second base. Here comes the offering. Breaking ball swung on and missed, and Moji's in the books. He's gone for the 3rd out of the inning, the 2nd time tonight via strikes. Swallows finally get to Anthony K. They got themselves a hit. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left aboard. We're now moving to the bottom of the 5th, halfway through this one. Your score is the BayStars 2, Swallows no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. We appreciate you guys for jumping in with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Be right back after this. We got ourselves a 2-0 ball game. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action. Appreciate you guys for jumping in with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters for the BayStars in this one. It'll be Anthony Kay, the top of the order in Koki Kojiwara, and Shugo Maki to come to bat here for Yokohama in inning number 5. One thing that is a little different, too, is I noticed that the Pacific League seems to be a little bit quicker in between innings as the timing of our, whether it be little infomercials, as there's a fastball taken for a called strike, count is 1-1 to K. I don't know if K is any more of a disinterested hitter here facing Lambert. It looks like he just doesn't want to be a part of swinging the bat, although he swings at that one and fouls that away down the left field line, and the count is 0-2. K was hitless last season, and he's 0 for so far this year. So no balls and 2 strikes here to K leading off the 5th. As Lambert delivers, there's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-2. You know, for what it's worth, Lambert, 49 pitches through his 4 innings of work, just barely over 12 pitches per inning. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball swung on. It is chopped softly down the first baseline. Lambert gets it. He flips it over to the first baseman, Osuna. Nobody was at the bag. And there it is. Anthony Kay is going to get himself his first career hit in the NPB. He's all smiles. The crowd is cheering. I don't know why they didn't. 2 things. I thought Lambert could have maybe let that one go foul. The second part was Osuna. The players are on the bench, and they're all looking for the baseball. Anthony Kay is going to get that one for his collection. Everybody knew he was off the schneid. If I remember right, he was something like 0 for 38 last year, and he was 0 for 1 to start this year. It's going to look like a line drive in the box score, but it was a chopper down the line. He outran past the pitcher Lambert by the time he flipped it to Osuna. Kay flashing the wheels, safe at first base. So that is going to bring the top of the order in Koki Kojiwara to the plate, who is 1 for 2. He's driven in a run and scored a run. As the pitch on the way as a breaking ball swung on, it is grounded over to Osuna. They go to second for 1, back to first. Not going to be in time. It's going to be a fielder's choice. It is going to erase K 3-6 as he is gone for the first out of the inning. Kajiwara safe over at first. It's going to bring up Shugo Maki to the plate. K, even though he's out, he's coming back to the dugout. He's got both fists raised. He's loving it. I could just see a guy like Anthony Kay running down to first base and popping a hamstring. That would be like the worst case scenario. So that is going to bring Shugo Maki to the plate. Maki is 2 for 2 tonight. He doubled and singled in his first 2 trips. Raised his average now north of 300. As the right-handed hitting second baseman waiting on the offering here from Lambert. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. I don't think Maki believes it. I don't think I believe it either. That was definitely looked like it was a ball that didn't break. So no balls and 1 strike to Shugo Maki as the right-hander holds himself to the set. And now he kicks and fires. It's a fastball that's coming inside and hit Maki. I don't know. They're going to come out and look at him immediately. It looked like it might have got him in the forearm. Terrible spot. I think it was Albert Pujols a few years ago for the Cardinals made a tag, but it would have been an area on the forearm that was broken. But that there can really leave a mark. Got him in an area where there was no protection. So Maki is up, and as they do in Japan, if you haven't noticed it before, they'll take him down the tunnel for some examination. And you can see his forearm there. It looks like he is getting, I think it got him on the forearm. I don't think it got him on the tricep, or did it? I'm going to go down and have a look at him in the tunnel, as we will have a pause in the play. So that's going to put runners at first and second with 1 out. It's going to bring Kaita Sano to the plate. Oh, we'll look at it again. Actually, it did hit him in the tricep, and it got him above he wears a elbow guard, and it got him, looks like, just above the elbow guard. It can really hurt. I remember I had a teammate one year in summer ball years ago, played at his college ball at Kellogg College in the state of Michigan, which would be in Battle Creek, and he got hit by a pitch. We're at Eastern Michigan. Got hit by a pitch on his tricep, and when he was in the game, he was like, yeah, I'm okay, everything's good. And then when he got to the dugout, it looked like it was a ball growing out of his tricep. It was unbelievable. The seams were there, and it was just this huge lump. Had never seen anything quite like that before. It was pretty amazing. Well, that's what that reminds me of the location where Shugo Maki got hit. Peter Lambert is left out on the mound. That's the one thing that kind of drives me nuts is you've taken him out of the game. Make the decision. Is he going to play? Is he not going to play? What are you going to do with him? And let's get on with it. But they are waiting for the decision here as they're examining him underneath the stands. As we wait for the jury or the decision, the crowd, of course, getting restless. But now Mackey is back out onto the field. Probably got the magic spray or whatever it is, and he's telling the first baseman Osuna for the Swallows. I wonder how that conversation's going. I wonder how much Japanese Osuna now speaks. That brings Kaita Sano to the plate. Sano is 0 for 2 tonight. He has grounded to short and popped to short. He had popped up in that infield fly rule back in the 3rd inning. So Lambert got himself in a little bit of a hole here, and the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. It is the Swallows and the BayStars from Yokohama. We're glad you guys could be here with us to listen to the stream tonight. So 1 ball and no strikes. Again, the right-hander Lambert leaning in, getting the sign. Middle is in double play depth. As the right-hander works set, he checks the runner at second. Now he kicks and fires. It's a breaking ball swung on, and it's pop foul into the seat straight behind home plate, and the count goes to 1-1 on Sano. A really healthy crowd here. Our friend Jason Stuff is in the house tonight. Hey, we welcome you in. I know it's not the Buffaloes, but we're glad you can have us with us. Speaking of the Buffaloes, they're off to a heck of a start. Last time I looked, they were beating up on the Eagles again tonight. It's a good ball in the Pacific League to get a regular season game with them. There's a breaking ball that this is outside, and the count now goes to 2-1 on Sano. I have to admit, I was looking to probably add them to the mix this weekend, but with the weather being a little dicey in Tohoku, I wasn't really sure what that would bring. We kind of stayed off those games. So here comes the 2-1 pitch. There's a fastball swung on. It is grounded through the right side into right field. Coming in hard on it is Masuda. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's cut off, and they throw over to third. Sliding in safely is Shugo Maki. It's going to be an RBI single off the bat of Sano. Maki goes first to third. Scoring from second is Kajiwara, and that is going to increase the scoreline to 3-0. That is going to bring up Toshiro Yamazaki. Our friend Jason says he's dead. He goes, I'm here for the ride tonight. Oh, that's good. I'm glad he could ride with us. So the scoreline now, 3-0 for the BayStars. And they're still threatening with runners on the corners here. You know, really, Peter Lambert's actually pitched pretty good tonight. He hasn't been that bad. He has been maybe a little bit unfortunate in some circumstances. And of course, not like that ball was necessarily rocked. Jason said 6 1/3 innings. I guess that's what he did tonight. Good for you, Jason. So here we go back to the live action as it brings Toshiro Yamazaki to the plate. Yamazaki 1 for 2 tonight. Raised his season average up to 324. He's got a single and an RBI. He drove in the second run of the ball game as the pitch is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count's 0-1. So a 3-0 BayStar lead here in the bottom half of the 5th. looking to pad more. I'm sure a lot of people are coming in to want to find out what's the over-under going to be through 5. There is a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right field. It's slicing toward the line. Masuda over to make the catch. Tagging at third and heading home is Mackey. He's going to score. That's going to increase the score line to 4-0. It's going to be a sacrifice fly to 9. RBI for Yamazaki, his second of the night. Mackey scores from third. And Kaita Sano stays at first base, and that'll bring up the right fielder in Ryuki Watari. So for Watari, he is 0 for 2. He has flown to left and struck out in his 2 trips. He is 0 for 8 on the season, looking for his first knock. Batting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Lambert. Lambert checks the runner over at first. As he holds to the set, now he kicks and fires. It's a breaking ball down. Nice stop there by the catcher Nakamura. So 1 ball and no strikes. Again, after this half inning, we'll take our timeout because, as we said, it's the Japanese halftime, as they like to call it, or we like to call it, because they take that extended break. Gives us a chance to do our version of a stretch. And trainers come out to check on the catcher Nakamura. He took that one in a strange spot. As they are coming out to talk to him here, he's doubled over in pain a little bit, so I didn't see exactly where he got it. Where he wears his chest protector is a little bit lower than maybe where I would like it. I don't know if he got it on the hand or where it was. Well, I guess it looks like it was in the thumb area, just below the thumb, more toward the hand. Oh, that's where it was. It was on the inside part. That's not a good blocking position. You either got to take your hand out. They're going to go down and have a look at him. As he's walking off slowly. He's not a happy camper, you can see. So interesting. Again, here we are in the top and the bottom half of the inning. Both teams will have a player come out of the game. And there's nothing worse than that, too, is when the pitcher has to start throwing to a new catcher. That always, well, maybe it'll be a good thing here because Lambert has started to struggle a little bit, so maybe getting a different catcher behind the plate might change his fortunes a bit. So he is going to get a couple of tune-up tosses here as we wait to see if there is going to be a substitution or not, as the trainer has gone down the dugout with the starting catcher, Yuhei Nakamura. As I said before, they put an extra ball or two out there so the infielders can throw and stay loose. This one here tonight, so far, 4 runs for the BayStars on the benefit of 6 hits. There's no errors for them. And then across the board for the Swallows, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. So defensively, both teams have played pretty good. As Peter Lambert waits here on the return of his catcher or battery mate. We've got 1 ball and no strikes to Watari. But again, we're just waiting for the update to come around here. Well, it looks like he is making his way back out. Gingerly, nonetheless. Actually, he wants to throw a couple. So we'll see what it is here, if he's going to get a couple of opportunities. There's nothing worse getting hit in the hand. Just like that. Tyler, welcome back into the stream. Appreciate you. Our day was an interesting day. We had, I don't know if it's full moon or not. We had a kid who was in our clinics, and we talked to the parent, and the parent, I think, is more off the rocker than the kid is. So 1 ball and no strikes. 1 ball and no strikes as the right-hander Lambert leans in and he gets the sign from his catcher Nakamura, and he ready to go here. There's a fastball that Misses upstairs. The count now goes to 2-0. Our friend Davey says, can you update the bottom of the screen? We normally update it at the end of each half inning. So once the half inning is complete, that's when we do our updates. You'll kind of get the groove for that. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs. It's now gone to 3-0 on Watari. So the answer is yes, we do, but we just do it on the half innings. We don't. Our paid staff here of 0, it doesn't work overtime like that, Davey. So there you go. And there's a pitch that misses down, and that is going to be ball 4. It's going to walk Watari here. That's going to put runners at first and second. It's going to bring Yamamoto to the plate. Our friend Bang2X says, how many pitches does Lambert have? I'll get that for you in just a moment. He was actually really economical through the first 3 innings. He was at 37 pitches. And things kind of went off the rails here in the 5th. As Yudai Yamamoto steps in, he's now at 66, so he's thrown 29 pitches in the last 1+ inning. So Lambert may be around for the 6th inning, but depending upon what happens here, maybe not much more after that. Anthony Kay on the flip side, I don't have his numbers. I didn't add up. He was at 35 through 3. I think he's in about the upper 50 range. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Yamamoto. Yamamoto has flown to right and grounded to second in his 2 trips to the plate. Davey says he put $50 on the BayStars. I think you did right, but they play 9 innings, and we still got a ways to go. There's a fastball swung on, and it's fouled away. The count is 0-2 to Yamamoto. So no balls and 2 strikes. When we were pressed early in the game who we thought we win, I said I think it would be the BayStars tonight. Still not convinced that the Swallows lineup is where it should be or where it needs to be. They still have a couple of people out. I think one's going to be on for a long while. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. Count goes to 1-2 on Yamamoto. I believe it was their center fielder, Shiomi. I think they said that he may have retore his ACL in that game, that exhibition game against the Fighters at Escon Field in Hokkaido, right before the end of spring training. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on, popped up on the right side in shallow right field. Underneath it is the right fielder, Masuda. He's there to make the catch. And that is going to do it here for the BayStars in their half of the inning. Well, a first tonight, Anthony Kay gets his first NPB hit. It only took a year and change, but he did it to lead off the inning. There was 2 runs in the inning on the benefit of only 2 hits. There was no errors and 2 runners left aboard. We're through 5. Stick around, everybody. We're going to put the music on loop. We're going to take a little time out because, as we said, at the end of the 5th inning, they like to do all of their maintenance on the mounds and that sort of stuff. So we'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for being with us.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. It is what we like to call the Japanese halftime. That is where they take the extended break in between the fifth and the sixth inning. And we have ourselves a 4-0 game for the BayStars, and we'll be back in just a couple moments. Appreciate you guys for hanging with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is a 1-1 count as we have resumed the action here. As batting now is a pinch hitter here. This is number 32, hitting for the catcher, Yuhei Nakamura. So 2-1 strike. We'll get you all that information in just a moment. As the pinch hitter has just fouled one off himself, and the count now is 2 strikes. And of course, the trainer comes out. So the starting catcher leaving the game, it's Naoki Matsumoto. One would assume he's a catcher and is going to stay in the game, but he's just fouled the ball off himself. And that, unfortunately, is going to leave a mark. 2 strikes. He's going to dig back in after the trainer has had a look at him. So Matsumoto waiting here on the offering from Kay. There's a fastball swung on and missed. And that is going to be gone. He is gone for the first out of the inning. So Matsumoto in the books. Let's see if it's going to be Peter Lambert or if they're going to go to the bullpen or go to the bench early for a pinch hitter here. So we'll have to take a look at the pitcher's spot that's slated to come up. Unbelievable. Welcome to the game, Matsumoto. It does look like we do have at the plate, it is a pinch hitter. It is number 51. The first pitch is swung on and fouled away. This is going to be Taiki Hamada, who is pinch hitting here. So Lambert's day will be done, if that answers questions. We are going to have a call to the bullpen in the next inning. So Taiki Hamada here batting. And he swings and he fouls that pitch off, and the count goes to 0-2. Hamada was in the starting lineup last night. Friend Jason says he's not been in the chat for a bit, but I've been in high school, he says. High school baseball, that is. As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball, waved at and missed. And Anthony Kay has gone back-to-back with strikeouts here to start the sixth inning. He says he's got his own pen tomorrow morning and nothing else to do. So, yeah, I thought I'd watch. Well, that's great. Always appreciate you hanging out. It's been... Earlier tonight, we had a lot of festive folks in the chat. It's quieted down a bit now. First pitch breaking ball delivered to Akahani. waved that and missed. The count is 0-1. Kahani tonight 0 for 2, both strikeouts here against Anthony Kay. And by my count, I got Kay with 8 already here in the game as that breaking ball misses down, and the count goes to 1-1. Jason says, fun, enjoy it to listen and talk with the games with us. Absolutely. As the 1-1 is on the way, there's a breaking ball that is taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-2. We got all kinds of folks who listen in, new, young, and old. High school people. We had the early crowd. It was the college guys who are doing papers and exams. As the 1-2 pitch on the way, there's a fastball swung on and grounded foul over on the third base side. Davey says he works at a sporting goods store and he has a ton of teens asking for torpedo bats now. Yeah, what a great marketing scam that is. Probably in another couple of months they outlaw it. The next thing you know, all those people who paid money for the torpedo bats and be stuck with them. There's a foul ball. Pitch is lifted foul, and the count is 1-2. At the end of the day, there's always a new gimmick. Everybody wants to swing. There was the axe bats for a while with the angled handle because they said, oh, it'll help you swing faster. How about some core exercises? Fastball swung on, grounded over to third. Miyazaki fields it. He fires to first. And that is going to retire Akahani. That's a ground out 5-3 for the third out of the inning. That's going to do it here in the top of the sixth for the Swallows. They go in order 1, 2, 3. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. We're now moving to the bottom of the sixth inning. Your score is the BayStars 4. Swallows no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit. Appreciate you guys for listening in with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Always fun to have you guys with us. We'll be right back after this. Four nothing for the BayStars as we're skipping to the bottom of the sixth inning. We'll be back in about 30 seconds with all the action after this. Here's our friend Steve.
Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game. Really exciting. Lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in, check them out, leave a like, tell other people. But, Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Appreciate you there, Steve, as we are getting ready to go back to work to call the bottom of the sixth inning. They do have a left-hander on the mound now for the Swallows, as we'll get you caught up with that. Peter Lambert's day is done. It is going to be number 43 entering the fray. That's going to be Daiki Yamamoto. So Yamamoto on in relief of Lambert. And so the bullpen will take over now for the Swallows in this one. He's completed his tune-up tosses, and we're ready to go. It's going to be the 7, 8, 9 hitters, so it'll be Yoshi Tsutsugo coming to bat. Or at least it's slated to be Tsutsugo. We'll have to take a look here. You have a new catcher behind the plate. Interesting, Tsutsugo batting from the left side here against the lefty, and he takes a breaking ball down and away, and the count is 1-0. Tsutsugo is listed as a switch hitter. Staying on the left side here against the lefty Yamamoto. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that is taken at the knees for a called strike. The count is 1-1. Tsutsugo, Mori, and K to come to bat here in the sixth. Anthony K has been very efficient in his work here tonight. There's a fastball that just misses a little bit low, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. I was thinking of the kids in the swinging the bats. There's some kids who have really nice swings. There's no doubt about it. And there's other kids. I think of that movie. I think it was the Sandlot or Benchwarmers, where the famous line was, "It's not a sword. Don't chop at it." And you'll see some kids. The parents will spend $200-300 on a bat, and they don't know how to use it. Don't know how to swing it. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul. That was really strange. It was pulled on the first base side. He's batting on the left side, and he hooked it all the way around over the first base dugout. But a pop-up. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Setsugo. The lefty batting here against the lefty Yamamoto, who works himself into the set position. Here comes the 3-2. Fastball misses down and away, and the count now goes to ball 4, and that is going to walk Setsugo here, as he's going to get a leadoff walk here to start the 6th. That's going to bring up Kaito Mori. If you haven't checked out the Japan Baseball Report, go check some of them out. It's a little bit different. When we're calling the games, we're describing the action. We can see the play, everything that's happening. When you're doing the podcasts and you're talking to yourself, you got to have it. It's a little different style. And so for me, it's been an interesting experience in doing it, having a lot of fun in doing it. But I can tell you this, it's not easy. Some people make it look easy. It's not as easy as it looks. Fastball that is taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1 to Kaito Mori. Mori 1 for 2. He's got a single and 2 trips. I'm not sure if we're going to see Anthony Kay or not. They do have somebody up and swinging right now, so let's see if Anthony Kay is going to come back again. I hope he does. There's a fastball swung on, and it's hit foul over on the third base side. Now the count goes to 0-2 on Mori. My guess is Anthony Kay. Kay's coming up. I think that was a sandbag maneuver over there. Kay has now moved into the on-deck circle. Why would you take him out? He's cruising. Only 1 hit so far through 6. Fastball misses down, and the count goes to 1-2. As I said earlier, I wonder if he will try to use this as a bounce-back maneuver to get back to Major League Baseball. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. As the lefty holds to the set, here comes the pitch. Yamamoto instead fires over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Changed up a little bit tonight. We've been drinking a lot of soda or something cold. There's a fastball swung on, is grounded over the right side. Yamada ranging into the 4-hole, fields it. He throws from his knees, and he's able to get Mori out. That's going to go as a ground out 4-3. It's going to advance Setsugo over to second. They were in double play depth, so Yamada had to really go into the 4-hole to be able to make the play. And Mori has some wheels as he's able to get down the line, but a nice play by the veteran Yamada to throw him out by a step. Oh, if you're Mori, you're probably walking back to the dugout. Pretty much coulda, woulda, shoulda. They got him by a half step at first base, and that will bring up the pitcher in Anthony Kay. Well, Kay had his first hit of his career in the NPB tonight. As it would look like a line drive in the box score, but it was a dribbler down the first base line. So good for Anthony Kay to get off the schneid. Was 0 for the season last year, and now he's batting .500. It looks like he's already squaring to bunt here. Let's see what happens. They're going to try to move the runner over to third. He squares, and he takes a first pitch fastball up high for ball 1. The count is 1-0. So Yamamoto. Earlier on in the night, there was one of the fellas was saying about the buying the jerseys or getting something like this. I'm looking at the jerseys that both the BayStars, their game jerseys, and the game jerseys that the Swallows are wearing. And I got to say, they're kind of cheap. There's a fastball ticket for a called strike. It looks like they're screened on for a major league quality type team. In other words, in the Japanese Major League, these are the best jerseys you can get. I picked up a jersey of the Hanshin Tigers a couple of summers ago, and they are really, really, really good. The lettering was stitched on. Like it's a really well done jersey. And there's a pitch that's delivered. It's bunted down the third baseline. It is fielded by Moji. He throws to first. It's going to go as a sacrifice. It's going to be 5-4 in the books. That's going to retire K for the second out of the inning. Advancing over to third is Setsugo. And that is going to bring up the top of the order in Koki Kojiwara. So high fives all around for K. That's the second sacrifice bunt he's delivered tonight in and around that base hit that he had. That brings Kojiwara to the plate. He has scored half of the runs tonight for the BayStars. He is officially 1 for 3, and he's got an RBI to his name as well. And here comes the offering from the lefty Yamamoto. Or is it because we've got ourselves a little bit of a pause? There's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded down the first base line into right field. And that is going to be a base hit. It's going to score the run from third. And sliding into second with a double goes Kojiwara. It's going to be his second RBI of the night. He's got a double. Setsugo comes home to score. 5-0 now for the BayStars here in the sixth inning as they extend their lead. And that will bring up Shugo Maki to the plate, who has been on base every time he's come to the dish. I don't know what's happening here, but it looks like we have a little bit of a strange piece as Maki strides to the plate. The first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike. I think he liked that. I think he wanted a do-over. So no balls and one strike here to Shugo Maki as the left-hander works himself to the belt. And now he kicks and fires. It's a fastball swung on and missed, and now the count goes to 0-2 on Shugo Maki. So no balls and 2 strikes. Interesting here. We're showing some internet pauses here, so I don't know if you guys are getting any strangeness with our feeds. Here comes the offering to Maki. Fastball swung on. We're getting the bit of the wheel of death as it is lifted into right field. Coming over underneath it is Masuda. He's there to make the catch, and that is going to retire Maki for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it. They got 1 run in the inning as Setsugo was brought home off the bat of Kojiwara. So 1 run in the inning on the benefit of 1 hit. There was no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We're now through 6 complete. It is a 5-0 lead for the BayStars. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few, as long as the wheel of death does not get us here tonight. We'll be right back after this. Appreciate you guys for being here.
Well, you got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just 1 roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole. Yeah.
We'll be right back in just a few, everybody. Appreciate you for jumping in. It is a 5-0 BayStars lead. Welcome back, everybody. BayStars enjoying a 5-0 lead here as the Swallows will send the 2, 3, and 4 hitters to bat here against Anthony K. That means Hideki Nagaoka, Domingo Santana, and Jose Osuna. So far, it has been only one batter over the minimum that K has faced in this one. As the first pitch fastball misses down and the count is 1-0. 80 pitches through 6 innings for the American lefty. As the lefty holds to the set, and now he kicks and delivers. Breaking ball down, the home plate umpire goes up with the right hand. The catcher was wanting to appeal down to third base, but no need to do so when the home plate umpire rings up the right hand to give him a strike. So here's the 1-1 pitch, and it is a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted foul down the line, left field line. And the count now is 1-2 strikes. As the 1-2 pitch is on the way, here's the offering. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2. So Anthony K ready to go back to work again. As the lefty delivers, it's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted foul down the third baseline, and it's going to drift into the seats, and the count remains at 2-2. So 2 strikes it is. They are ready to go back at it again. Here's the offering from the lefty. It's a breaking ball swung on, grounded back to K. Fields it, throws to first, and that's going to retire Nagaoka on a ground out 1-3. He's gone for the first out of the inning, and it's going to bring the left fielder Domingo Santana to the plate. Saying the last few nights we've done games, our voices got kind of raspy. We've chosen to go from the cold drinks to the frozen yogurt. And hopefully that'll allow us to be able to keep going. The first pitch delivered to Domingo Santana is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Out 0-1 to Santana. Santana 0 for 2 tonight. He's flown to right and flown to center. As the pitch on the way is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 0-2, so no balls and 2 strikes. Mix in the ice cold water and a little bit of sparkling water with the frozen yogurt. There's a breaking ball that is waved at and missed, and Santana's gone for the second out of the inning on strikes, and that's going to leave it up to Jose Osuna. So by our count, that's the 9th strikeout recorded here tonight by the lefty Anthony K. Welcome everybody into the stream. So here we go. Here comes the first pitch to Osuna, and it's going to be lifted into the outfield for a base hit. So we just caught a little bit of the end there. Osuna, on the first pitch he saw from K, was able to swing at it, had broken his bat, and it just got into center field past the glove of the shortstop Mori. So a broken bat single here by Osuna. He's aboard at first, and that is going to bring up the second baseman in Tetsuto Yamada. Well, for Yamada, he is 0 for 2 tonight. He has grounded to third and struck out his 2 trips to the plate. As the lefty K kicks and delivers, there's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So that was only the second hit tonight by the Swallows, the broken bat single from Osuna. Yamada has struggled so far to start the year, batting .125 now. As the lefty delivers, it is a fastball swung on. It is lifted into right field. Camping out underneath it and making the catch is Watari, and that is going to retire Yamada for the third out of the inning. And that'll do it here for the Swallows in their half of the seventh. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 runner left aboard. We're at the bottom of the seventh inning. Anthony K, high fives all around. We'll see if he comes back out for another inning of work or if his day will be over. But hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. We appreciate you guys for being here with us on the Last Rounds Baseball YouTube channel. It is 5-0 as we move to the bottom of the seventh.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
That's right, everybody. We know baseball, and we appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. It is going to be coming to bat for the BayStars. Will be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, Sano, Yamazaki, and Watari. We're just waiting confirmation as there's going to be another pitching change. No, it's still going to be Daiki Yamamoto on the hill here, as he has coming back out for his second inning of work. He gave up a run in the 6th inning. So Sano, 12 for 40 on the season. He's 1 for 3 tonight with an RBI. And the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count is quickly 0-1. Our friend Davey says he subbed and he loves the commentary. Well, we appreciate you, Davey. Not sure where you're listening from, but we're glad you could be here with us tonight, as there's a fastball that just misses. And the count is 1-1. We have a pretty good crowd that likes to come in and hang out. We get some oddballs from time to time, but that's what makes it more fun. 1-1 pitch on the way. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed. The count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. And of course, our channel here in particular, we are slowly approaching the 3,500 mark. We took some time off after the season last year, after the Premier 12, really, and didn't do a whole lot on the channel. There's a fastball swung on his tap foul behind home plate, and the count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Sano. So Sano to be followed by Yamazaki and Watari here. The last half of the 7th inning for the BayStars. Again, the left-hander Yamamoto kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on and tap foul. The count remains at 1-2. Well, trying to get you caught up on the out-of-town scoreboard, as there is a full slate of games around the NPB tonight. In the top of the 6th inning, the Dragons are leading the Tigers 3-1 in that one. As the 1-2 pitch on the way, there's a breaking ball swung on, is looped it into shallow center field, and it's going to get down for a base hit in front of Akahani, and that will be a single here for Sano. That's his second hit of the ball game. So a leadoff single here, and that's going to bring up Toshiro Yamazaki. Other scores from around the NPB. Bottom of the 7th inning, the Carp have a 1-0 lead over the Giants. In the Pacific League, the Hawks pounding on the Marines 8-0 today. Pretty crazy game over there. 4-0 for the Buffaloes in the bottom of the 5th inning over the Eagles. That game's taken forever to get going. And the Lions and the Fighters, well, they're locked at zeros, much like the game yesterday until the last pitch of the game. First pitch fastball misses up and away to Yamazaki for ball 1. Yamazaki's 1 for 2 tonight. He's got a single and 2 trips. He's also flown out to right field. As the lefty Yamamoto holds to the set. And now kicks and fires. It is a breaking ball missing outside. The count goes to 2-0. We will be back on the airwaves again tomorrow, as it is going to be the Fighters and the Lions, as that game will be going live at 9 o'clock Pacific time, midnight if you're on the East Coast. And if you're in Japan, it'll be 1 in the afternoon. There's a fastball swung on, grounded over to third. They go to second for 1, back to first, and that's going to be a double play. It's going to go as a 5-4-3 variety, as Yamazaki grounds himself into the double dip, and that's going to bring up the right fielder in Ryuki Watari. Well, Watari is still looking for his first hit of the 2025 campaign. He entered the game 0 for 6. He's 0 for 2 tonight and a walk. So 0 for 8. We were saying about how he burst onto the scene in 2024. But he is certainly ice cold right now. There's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. If you want to call it a sophomore jinx, call it what you wish, but it is certainly not the hot performance that he had earlier. There's a fastball that's in the dirt that goes all the way to the backstop, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. As the lefty again kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right field, but not deep enough, as moving over underneath it, and the wind is playing havoc with it, and Masuda makes the catch. And that is going to retire Watari for the 3rd out of the inning. So the BayStars go unconventionally in order. No runs in the inning. They had a hit. There were no errors, and there was nobody left aboard. Double play erased Sano. That is going to take us to the top of the 8th inning. And your score is the BayStars 5, the Swallows no score. The manager has come out. I wonder if Anthony Kay is done for the night, and it looks like he is. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for being here and listening with us tonight. We'll be right back after this. We were a little bit slow in getting that out. We should have done it between the middle of the top of the seventh and the bottom of the seventh inning, but we figured we'd toss it in there tonight, or take me out to the ball game, a Japanese style. There are some changes in the lineup now for the BayStars. We'll have to get them for you as they come to bat a little bit later. New third baseman, new right fielder. And so those will be the changes there when they come to bat. We'll pick it off for you. So Miyazaki's day is done. Sometimes they don't always make the right moves if it's a double switch. But there is a new pitcher on the mound, as the right-hander is Yotaro Ishida. He delivers a first pitch breaking ball to Shu Masuda for no balls and one strike. Masuda has a hit and 2 trips here tonight. Raised his season average up to 333, and he takes a breaking ball in the dirt for a ball, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Goro Moji and Matsumoto, the catcher, to follow, as the pitch on the way as a fastball swung on it is lifted into right field, coming in hard, and he's going to watch it drop in front of him as our new right fielder. And that is going to be a leadoff single here off the bat of Masuda, and that is going to bring up the third baseman, Igor Emoji. So when you look at the players or the substitutions in right field for Yokohama, it says that is Watari still there, but they haven't updated that. It does look like Ibina is in left. And the new third baseman they still have as Miyazaki, but they haven't updated that, so we'll have to get that as it comes available. So base hit here for Masuda. He's got 2 of the 3 hits tonight for the Swallows, as the right-hander Ishida ready to go back to work. He works himself into the set position. Moji probably elated to get Anthony Kay out of the game. He takes a breaking ball over for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Moji 8 for 30, batting .267 on the year. No homers and a couple RBIs. Batting from the left side here, and as we said, Moji trying to take advantage of every opportunity he can to play in the ballgame. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes it is. So Moji at the plate, waiting here on the offering from the right-hander. And there's a fastball taken center cut for a called third strike. I don't know what Moji was looking for, as he watched that one go by right down the middle. He is gone for the first out of the inning. I don't know. He might have been more shocked than we were. I was shocked to see him take the fastball. It was just a 4-seam straight up right down the chute, and he stood there and watched it go by. So that is going to be 1 in the books, and the first pitch is a fastball that misses outside for a ball, and the count is 1-0 to Matsuda. Came on to replace the starter Yuhei Nakamura, who had taken a ball off the palm of the throwing hand. Here's the 1-0. It's a fastball swung on, grounded to short. They go to second for 1, back to first. That's going to be an inning-ending double play. It goes in the books as a 6-4-3 variety. And that will do it here for the Swallows in their half of the inning. They had no runs in the inning. They did get a hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. Your score as we move to the bottom of the 8th, it is 5-0 for the BayStars. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit. We appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this.
You are listening to live NPB commentary with Last Rouse Baseball. Be sure to check out our podcast, The Japan Baseball Report, either on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to join our Facebook group as well. It is NPB Japan Baseball Report. Stay up to date with all the other followers who are a fan of the Japanese game.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada the OP cheese. We have the Greek freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OPC baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters slated to come to bat for the BayStars. That would be Yamamoto, Tsutsugo, and Mori. But it looks like that Tsutsugo may be out of the game by now, as we are going to get the changes here. We'll keep ourselves updated if they do have a new pitcher on the mound for the Swallows as well. Just getting our game reports. It looks like it will be Yamamoto and then Ibina, who is in the ball game for Tsutsugo. Still looks like it is Mori there. Then they have the right fielder is Kamizato, who has entered the game, but he's going to be in the old pitcher spot. The pitching change for the Swallows, it's going to be number 66, Kosuke Sakaguchi. So he is on in relief here, as he will be facing the pitcher or the catcher Yudai Yamamoto here for the first time. So Yamamoto coming to the plate as the right-hander rocks himself into the windup and delivers. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. Our friend CB in the house here. We welcome you. Appreciate you for popping in. It is a 5-0 lead for the BayStars as they are batting here in the bottom of the 8th. There is a fastball swung on. It is lifted into center field. Moving over underneath it, and there to make the catch is the center fielder Akahani, and that is going to retire Yamamoto for the first out of the inning. I don't want to jinx myself, but this game's had a pretty good clip to it. It could be done in 2.5 hours. That would be pretty good and a decent spot for it to be able to go and be finished in. So here we are with one gone, and that is going to bring up the Ibina to bat here, as he is hitting in the spot once occupied by Yoshi Tsutsugo. 4 for 24 on the season is Ibina. Off to a rugged start. There's a first pitch fastball that misses inside. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Our friend CB, we were talking about the other night. He was driving home from Sacramento as that fastball misses down, and the count now goes to 2-0. He was looking at some Japanese baseball cards. There's a fastball that misses inside, and the count goes to 3-0 on Ibina. Said he's been looking for some different stuff, odd stuff. We were saying some of the stuff that's going back into the 70s, which is kind of cool, is the old Calby stuff. Not easy to come by, but not necessarily super hard to find. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count's 3-1. And we're saying that some of that stuff, it is, especially when you got boots on the ground in Japan, you can pick up stuff of, different types of a variety of things. As that fastball misses down, and Ibina is going to go self a base on balls, as he is aboard for the first time. He's going to bring Kaito Mori to the plate. The shortstop tonight is 1 for 3. He's got a single in 3 trips. I was going to say, the old Calby cards, Calby came on the bags of potato chips. Our friend God is Great is in the house. We welcome you as well. That would be our friend Titus. So Mori batting here with a runner at first and 1 gone, and the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Mori was robbed of a hit his last time up, as he had grounded out to second base. Tetsuya Yamada had ranged to his left into the 4 hole Made a really nice play to retire the shortstop of the BayStars. There's a breaking ball that just misses outside, and the count is even at 1-1. Our friend CV says, a closer look, Mint are like sports card stores. Yeah, that's 100%. That's exactly what they are. They don't really, well, they go back in the commons previous years, and they have common boxes that you can look through. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed in store. And they have some specials and different things that you can get. They are into selling the boxes. Some stores have more laid out where they have the autograph cards, things of that nature, which people will spend on. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. As they kick and deliver, there's a fastball that just misses a bit low, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. So waggling the bat is the left-handed hitting Maury. Here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and is knifed foul down the third base line. The count remains at 2-2. Each store kind of is a little bit different. There's a store called Yellow Submarine in Akihabara, which is a Mint store. And their store setup is a little bit different than most. It's like on the 6th or 7th floor of the building. There's all kinds of stuff in that particular one. That's the old Electric Town. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded over to first. Osuna fields it. He steps on the bag. That is going to retire Maury. He ground out to 3, but it is going to advance Abina over to second. So in the books for out number 2, we have to get our game sheet as it's going to bring up the right fielder and Kazuki Kamizato. And for Kamizato, well, he comes to the plate. He's appeared in 5 games, but this is going to be his first at bat of the campaign. Batting from the left side here. He had seen some limited action last year. And the first pitch to Kamizato is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Anthony Kay was in this spot of the batting order, but he has been subsequently replaced. So no balls and 1 strike it is, as the right-hander again works to the set and now delivers. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes even at 1-1. I was talking a little bit about the cards and stuff. There's another place, if our friend CV is still hanging with us, that was called Mandrake. They do have a website, I think, but just, Mandrake, Mandrake. And they will sell cards as well. They're into all kinds of crazy stuff. They got like books and records and you name it. Their cards or baseball cards are not as much. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, but they do an online portion of it. But it's better boots on the ground in store because you can go in and take a look at it. They have binders and stuff, and it's usually the old stuff. Nothing new at all, actually. I think there's a minimum. It has to be at least 30 years old before they even entertain looking at it. So 2 balls and 1 strike as the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. And so I was able to pick up some Sadahara O's and some of those type of players from yesteryear. Of course, O is always the big one. Got a couple neat ones there, just something for conversational pieces. Fastball misses down, and that's going to be ball 4, and Kamizato is going to get himself a walk. That's going to put runners at first and second with 2 gone, and it's going to bring the top of the order in Kuki Kajiwara to the plate. And it's going to bring Jose Osuna into the mound, as is all of the players are going to come and have a talk with their pitcher here. Probably more of a confidence thing than anything else, as Sakaguchi's got 2 outs here. They just need to get the 3rd out. So 3 balls and no strikes it is, or 3 balls, no strikes it is. The conference is over here. They're going to have to get back to work. Our friend CV says, who is the Cy Young of the NPB? Well, every year they give out an award called the Sawamura Award. And I shouldn't say every year. There's a fastball swung on a grounded to third, fielded by Moji. And he steps on the bag. It goes as a ground out to 3 to end the inning, or ground out to fielder's choice to 5 to end the inning. I got to get it's getting late in the game here. We're losing our concentration. Apologies to everybody here. Fielder's choice. That ends the inning as it's going to erase Ibina at third for the third out as he goes down for the third out of the inning. And that will do it here for the BayStars. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. I'll come back. I'll collect my thoughts. We're going to the top of the ninth, and I'll answer the question for CV. There was no winner last year because they don't hand it out to everybody every year. Last year, no Sawamura winner awarded at all. We'll be right back after this. We appreciate you guys for listening in. It is our friend Steve Rademacher right after this.
Thank you, Freddie. Appreciate your support and everybody out there. Steve again here, obviously, with the Milwaukee Brewers. Of course, we have Bernie Brewer on my favorite beverage of choice right there, along with a card of Bernie. Yay! Now, we got some special guests here. I'm not just talking about our Hall of Fame lineup. I must be in the front row. Hey, come on there, Robin. I got 3,000 hits. What do you have? Well, I was the all-time saves leader, and I got 1.5 feet on you. Okay, Raleigh, settle down, buddy. Now, none of this could be possible without Harvey's Wallbangers. There's Harvey. And who could forget the Fonz? Hey.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be coming to bat for the Swallows, the 9, 1, and 2 hitters slated to come to bat. Yes, it is going to be coming to bat here in the original pitcher spot. It is going to be Takeshi Miyamoto. So he will be pinch hitting here. So Miyamoto on here to pinch hit. He takes a first pitch fastball outside for ball one, and the count is 1-0. Ishida back on for his second inning of work as the right-hander gets his sign from the catcher, and he's ready to go back to work again. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball taken on the inside corner for called strike. Count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Miyamoto, then the top of the order, Akahani and Nagioka slated to come to bat here. On the top of inning number 9, there is a breaking ball that is swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. All right. And here we go back again. Miyamoto digging in. The right-hander Ishida ready to deliver. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. On its way, it's a breaking ball that just misses. Oh, that pitch looked pretty good, but apparently the home plate umpire wants to see a few more here before we leave. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I think that is where you want to be with the expansion of the zone. Ring them up. Let's carry on. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, lined into center field for a base hit, and Miyamoto's got himself a leadoff single. And that is going to bring up the top of the order in Yoshihiro Akahani. Well, for Akahani, he's 0 for 3 tonight. He has struck out twice and grounded out in his 3 trips to the plate. As Miyamoto gets his lead over at first base. Right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. Akahani has struck out twice, grounded to third. His average has dipped to 227 on the campaign. So Ishida gets his sign and he works himself to the set. Here's the pitch. Fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2. He worked a little bit quick there. Haven't seen too many balks in the NPB, but that one might have classified for an opportunity for one to be called. So no balls and 2 strikes it is as the right-hander works himself to the set. And the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, the right-hander working himself into the set position. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball. It's taken for a called third strike. Oh, Akahani stood there like the house by the side of the road. And he picks up a sombrero as he's going to go back to the dugout. He's gone for the first out of the inning. That is going to leave it up to or bring up the shortstop, Hideki Nagioka. Well, for Nagioka, he is 0 for 3 tonight. He has grounded out twice, and he has flown to left field. Miyamoto establishes his lead over at first base. And the pitch on the way, it is a breaking ball that is swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. Nagioka, a left-handed hitting shortstop of the Swallows. I enjoyed watching him play last year. Got to see him live at the Jingu Stadium against the Yomiuri Giants. It was fun to watch at the shortstop. There's a fastball that is swung on and fouled away, and the count goes now to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. They are running out of outs, are the Swallows. There's 1 gone here in the 9th. I don't have too many opportunities left here to do some damage as the 0-2 ready to come. Pitch on the way. It is a changeup that is swung on and missed, and that is going to do it. Nagioka is down on strikes. That's the second strikeout here recorded by Yoshihida. So 2 gone, and that's going to bring up the left fielder in Domingo Santana. And for Santana tonight, he is 0 for 3. He has flown to right, flown to center, and struck out in his 3 trips. Batting 179 on the season. Right-hander delivers. It is a fastball that is swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. Anthony Kay in line for his 2nd win, and he's started the season with 14 consecutive innings without allowing a run. As the right-hander Ishida works himself to the set. He's not a big fella. As he delivers, there's a fastball that just misses outside. Didn't miss by much, and the count goes to 1-1 on Santana. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Ishida working himself to the set position. Here comes the 1-1. Breaking ball waved at and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Santana. Now the Swallows are down to their final strike. Once this game is done, we'll wrap it up for you. We'll give it the out-of-town scoreboard, and then we'll put it to rest. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. The crowd is firmly stationed in their seats. As the 1-2 pitch ready to come on the way. Fastball misses up and in, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Swallows in jeopardy of taking one on the chin here as they are ready to slide back to a 500 record. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. It's now 3-2 to Santana. So Ishida here ready to deliver. The runner at first has got himself a huge lead. They are letting him get off to the races They are all staying deep in the infield. Here comes the pitch. There goes the runner. It's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Yeah, that is, I think that's been Watari, who has moved out into left field. So Santana with a consolation hit here. That puts runners at first and second. It's going to bring Jose Osuna to the plate. So they're not out of the woods yet. Here are the BayStars, as they have something going here, do the Swallows, but it may be too little, too late. As it brings Osuna to the plate, he's 1 for 3 in this one. He's got a single in 3 trips. He's also grounded out and flown to right field. So the big fella here is stepping in. Batting from the right side here against the right-handed throwing Ishida. And now he's ready. He checks the runners and delivers a fastball center cut for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Should Osuna reach base, it'll be Tetsuda Yamada to come to bat. If that was the case, it would be a bit of a fire alarm going off in the bullpen of the BayStars. So here comes the 0-1 pitch as the right-hander holds set. Now delivers. Fastball misses down, and the count goes even at 1-1. Now remember, last weekend we saw a pretty crazy game between the BayStars and the Carp, as the Carp had a 6-2 lead going to the 9th inning, and then the BayStars pumped 5 on the board to take the lead in the 9th, only to give it back up in the bottom half. So there's some things, we've seen some strange things that can happen. Even last night's game, there's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into center field and racing hard, and it's going to get off the glove and get away from the center fielder, Kajiwara. That ball should have been caught. And unbelievable, ends up dropping to the ground. We're going to see how they're going to score it. That's going to put runners at the corners. The Swallows are not going to be shut out, as Osuna is going to get himself on here. It is going to bring around Miyamoto in to score. And the score is now 5-1. It's going to bring Yamada to the plate. We're waiting on the scoring on that one. As far as I'm concerned, that's got to be an error on the center fielder. I know he's coming in hard. He's coming in to make the play, but it looks like that's going to be the end of the night for Ishida as the manager, Miura, is coming out. Hang tight, everybody. We're going to have a pitching change. Who would have thunk that a few minutes ago? We got a pitching change on our hands, and we're going to come back in just a couple of moments with that for you when we return. Hang tight, everybody. Pitching change here. And we'll be right back after this.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Well, it is going to be the right-hander Rowan Wick, the 32-year-old North Vancouver, British Columbia native, coming into the ball game, as he is going to be taking over, as he is going to be completing his warm-up tosses here. I just got to get the scoring there on that one here on the ball hit to center field. They did give him a hit, did Osuna, so he's going to get a hit. He's also going to get himself an RBI on that one there. So a single, an RBI, advancing Santana over to third. So Rowan Wick to face Tetsuda Yamada as he completes his warm-up tosses, the big fella. So it'll be interesting here to see how this all shapes up, as the Swallows were pretty much flying with their wings clipped for most of this game here, have a chance here to score some more runs. Runner at third is Santana. Runner at first, Osuna. Tetsuda Yamada coming to the plate, 0 for 3 tonight. Yamada has grounded to third. He has struck out looking, and he has flown to right. Batting 120 on the season, 3 for 25. So Wick on in relief as the right-hander kicks and delivers a fastball that misses off the inside corner, and the count is 1-0. And if I had to say one thing about Rowan Wick, is that he was a late pitcher, or late to the mound. Originally was drafted as a catcher by the Cardinals. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. So Rowan Wick on in relief here, trying to shut the door on the Swallows. And you certainly don't want to bring the tying run to the plate. It's Masuda who waits on deck. There's a fastball that misses outside, and he has missed wildly on all 3 pitches. So 3 balls and no strikes. Unbelievable. Just got to throw a ball across the plate, and let's see if they can put it in play. As time has been called, Yamamoto is going to make his way out to the mound. He wants to go and have a word with Rowan Wick. So more importantly here, just getting command of his pitches. Got Anthony Kay sitting in the dugout. He's 3 strikes away or 1 out away from getting his getting a victory here. Went 7 innings of shutout ball for the second time in as many starts. Fastball misses outside. It's going to be ball 4, and Rowan Wick has walked Yamada. Osuna is going to advance to second. That brings the tying run to the plate in Masuda. Unbelievable. So Masuda tonight, he has himself a couple of hits in 3 trips. He's got a single, a double, and he has grounded out. Duarte says we need some Buffaloes commentary. It'll be coming in the next little bit, but it won't be coming tomorrow night. So this brings Masuda to the plate as the right-handed hitting right fielder waiting on the offering from Wick, who has not thrown a strike yet. The pitch is on the way, and that trend continues as it is a breaking ball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Buffaloes are playing good ball right now as Duarte jumps in here, and got to say that it has been pretty good for them so far this year. There's a fastball, another one that misses up. That's going to be ball 2. So maybe we're not going anywhere yet. This 9th inning here looked like it was going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy, and here we go. We got Rowan Wick imploding on the mound. Are the umbrellas going to come out for the Swallows? Are they going to have it raining runs? The BayStars here got themselves bases juiced with 2 gone. Here comes the pitch. Fastball misses down. It's ball 3. You better get that bullpen going because Rowan Wick, you have to throw a strike. The catcher looking over to the dugout. That one was fairly close. So we're going to see how he's going to survive from this one here. And they pitch on the way. There's a fastball. Take it for a called strike. And I'm sure the Bronx cheer is, I don't know what they would call it in Yokohama. The Yokohama cheer, maybe? So he's thrown 8 pitches and only 1 strike. As the right-hander again works himself to the set position. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, and now the count goes full to Masuda. Our friend Ryan in the house, whose birthday is, I think, a day away. Or maybe it's tomorrow. Or maybe it's today. So here comes Masuda to the plate. As now he's asked for time, and Rowan Wick is going to have to step off the backside. So Ryan says it is today. Congratulations, Ryan. How old are you today? As Shu Masuda down with a full count. Runners are on the move. There's a pitch. It's a fastball swung on, and it's lifted foul into the seats down the right field line, and the count remains at 3-2. 35 for Ryan. Congratulations, Ryan. That is where the years start to accelerate. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. They go by in twos once you get to 35. So here comes the offering from the right-hander Wick, who kicks and fires. It's a fastball swung on. It is popped up over on the right side. Is it going to be playable? And no, it's going to drift into the seats. The count remains full to Masuda, so they can't quite put him away yet. Runner at third is Santana. Runner at second, Osuna. Runner at first, Yamada. 5-1, the BayStars are in the lead. They're down to their final strike are the Swallows. And the pitch on the way, it's a fastball that misses way outside. Back-to-back walks issued here by Wick. That is going to advance Yamada over to second. It's going to move Osuna to third, and it's going to score Santana. And that is going to cut the lead to 5-2. And now we've got the translator and the pitching coach coming out to the mound. It's going to bring Igor Emoji to plate. Remember what I said earlier about Igor Emoji? You can go back and rewind our stream, and I think it was the first inning or early in the ball game, I said Igor Emoji, every time we call a game, he comes up in an important situation and usually does damage. Well, here we are. Bases loaded, bottom or top half of the ninth. And the Swallows have cut the lead to 5-2. If you've asked me a little bit ago, I would have never thought we'd be in this situation. We had 2 out and a couple on or 1 on. And it's all gone sideways from here. We do have a pinch runner now at first base for Masuda. Interesting, Masuda's being run for. So Moji at the plate. And here comes the first pitch from Rowan Wick as he kicks and delivers. A fastball swung on and fouled away. Count is quickly 0-1. Looked like Moji wanted to put that one into the seats. So no balls and 1 strike. The runner over at first base is Hidetaka Namiki. He has got some wheels. He becomes the tying run. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right field, and this ball is going to drop in for a base hit. That's going to get 1 run in, and it's going to cut off. It's going to get a second run in, and now we got ourselves a 5-4 ball game. A single off the bat of Emoji driving in a pair. And unbelievable here is now the score has been cut to 5-4. And now the manager for the BayStars has come out to get the ball from Rowan Wick. He has seen enough. And we've seen enough too. We can't believe it. Runners at the corners. Moji with the spark of the magic there. The umbrellas are out. We're going to take a little time out here as we do have a pitching change. That's the end of the night for Wick. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back after this. Unbelievable. 5-4 is the score line. We'll be right back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. It is Hiromu Isi who is coming on in relief here of Rowan Wick. And it is going to be slated to face the catcher Matsumoto. So it's supposed to be Naoki Matsumoto to come to bat. Ise is going to get his warm-up tosses. 5-4 is the score. Our friend Davey says, happy birthday as well. He says, I better not lose this bet. What would you have told yourself at age 25-year-old that now that you're 35, if you could go back and say anything? I don't know if there's anything really different that I would have performed differently at that point. Keep your stick on the ice, I guess. So they do have a pinch runner over at first base as they're emptying the bench are the Swallows. Said it's going to be Yukihiro Iwata on the pinch run. So the speed is coming into the ball game. As Ise is just completing his tune-up tosses, and we are about ready to resume the action. Unbelievable here. We got a 5-4 ball game. It was 5-0 BayStars going to the ninth inning. You can't think of a 5-run lead being any more comfortable than that. They've been pretty much in control the whole night. They only allowed 2 Swallows hits through the first 8 innings. As Rowan Wick is out of the game and sitting in the dugout, he could not have done any worse. Walked the first 2 batters he faced and then gave up a single. So here we go, back to the action. And the first pitch is a fastball swung on. It has popped up over in foul territory, drifting over to the seats, but Kaita Sano is going to watch it go into the stands. I think that's still Sano in the game at first base, and so that is going to be no balls and 1 strike to Matsumoto. Tying run is at third base. Who would have thought that Issei would have been in the ball game at this point? He's going to have some of the biggest eyebrows I've ever seen. Here comes the offering here to the right-handed hitting Matsumoto, and they throw to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner. Got to keep your eyes on the runner here. He may want to try to take second base, and maybe they got some shenanigans going on. If you can get into second base, that would be the go-ahead run. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right center field. Moving back underneath it with room to make the catch. And that is going to be put away, as it is going to be Kazumoto who does it. And they send 9 hitters to the plate in the inning, cashing in 4 runs to the Swallows. 4 runs in the inning on the benefit of 4 hits. There was no errors, and there was 2 runners left aboard. Your final score, 5-4 for the BayStars. They made it interesting, did the Swallows. That is the way that this one is. We're going to be back in just a couple moments, everybody. We're going to wrap this one up. We're going to go through the scoring with you in this. And then we are going to wrap it up and give you the out-of-town scoreboard as well. Hang tight. We'll be right back.
You are listening to live NPB commentary with Last Raps Baseball. Be sure to check out our podcast, The Japan Baseball Report, either on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to join our Facebook group as well. It is NPB Japan Baseball Report. Stay up to date with all the other followers who are a fan of the Japanese game.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to give you the out-of-town scoreboard first, and then we're going to wrap this one up. In the bottom of the 8th inning, the Dragons have a 3-1 lead over the Tigers. In the top of the 9th inning, it is a 1-0 lead for the Carp over the Giants. Over in the Pacific League, the Lions have a 1-0 lead over the Fighters. That is top 9. Buffaloes continue to roll. They have a 4-0 lead over the Eagles. That's in the top of the 8th. And the Hawks, 8-0 leaders over the Marines. That is in the top of the 9th. Well, this one here tonight, it was BayStars early and often. Anthony Kay, who is absolutely outstanding tonight, he retired the first 14 batters he faced to begin the ball game before Shuma Suda hit a double. In the 3rd inning, it was a leadoff single by Kaito Mori after Kay sacrificed him over to second. Koki Kojiwara stepped up and drove home Mori with an RBI single to make the scoreline 1-0. After Mackey singled and Sano popped out, it was an RBI single off the bat of Yamazaki that made the scoreline 2-0. Well, we moved to the 5th inning, and it was Anthony Kay led off with his first hit of his NPB career. After he was retired on a fielder's choice, Shugomaki was hit by a pitch, and Kaita Sano stepped up and delivered a single, bringing home Kajiwara. And then it was Yamazaki who had a sacrifice fly to bring home Maki to give the BayStars a 4-0 lead. They extended their lead in the 6th after a leadoff walk to Setsugo. And then a sacrifice bunt by Kay moved him over to second. It was Koki Kajiwara driving home his second run of the game to make the scoreline 5-0. And we thought, oh, this is going to be it. It's going to be easy. That's the way the game's going to end. Well, with one out in the 9th inning, with nobody out in the 9th inning, it was a leadoff single off the bat of Miyamori to get things going. And then Akahani and Nagioka struck out. So there were 2 outs for the Swallows. And then a single by Santana, an RBI single off the bat of Osuna, then a walk to Yamada, a bases loaded walk to Shumasuda, and then a 2-run single off the bat of Igoro Moji made the scoreline 5-4. With runners on the corners, unbelievable. They had ended up in a position where they had a chance to tie or win the ball game. And up stepped Naoki Matsumoto, and he flew out to right field to end the ball game. So that was a crazy finish in this one here tonight. 5-4 is your final. Once again, everybody, we appreciate you guys for listening in on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We will be back on the airwaves again tomorrow at 9 o'clock. All Rails Productions says a huge W for the BayStars. Was very scared, especially in the 9th, and you should have been, because that was a nail-biter of a ball game right then and there. All right, everybody, be sure to check out the Japan Baseball Report. It is live, our latest one. You get a chance, a fan of the Japanese game, be sure to peek in on that. And we will be back in again later tomorrow. It'll be a 9 o'clock Pacific start, midnight Eastern. And we're going to be calling the game between the Lions and the Fighters. Hopefully you can make it in with us. Have a great night, everybody. We will see you again tomorrow. Appreciate you guys for popping in tonight.